A very warm welcome to one and all. Today we have with us for this webinar on judiciary, Ms. Radha Kulshestra. She's an alumni of Galgotias University, 2018 batch, BALB, and she appeared for UP Judiciary Services in 2018 and qualified the same. Recently, in 2021, she appeared for Uttarakhand Judicial Services, secured rank 4, and appeared for Delhi Judicial Services in year 2022, where she secured rank 41. Currently, she is posted as Civil Judge, Junior Division at Saharanpur. Ma'am, welcome, and you can proceed with your session, please.
Hi, Harsha. Thank you so much for the kind introduction. Am I audible to everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
We can hear you.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. So starting with, I want this session to be an interactive session, question and answers format. तो सबसे पहले जो basic doubts रहते हैं, I want to entertain those doubts before starting with my session. So are there any doubts? Any basic doubts? Anybody? Nobody. Okay, then proceeding with the session. First of all, I just have a question, I guess. When to start our preparation? As soon as you make up your mind that you want to appear for any judicial services, irrespective of the state that you want to appear for. How to start with the session? I'll be coming to it. How to start with that with the preparation. First of all, judiciary is not only an exam that you have to qualify. Pre-mains or interview, you have to make up your mind, first of all, that you want to qualify such an exam. ठीक है? तो English, Hindi दोनों में comfortable है ना? I hope.
Okay, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Moving on. सबसे पहले, so you need to make up your mind that you want to be a judicial officer and you need to have your conduct like one. Because जब से मैं इस सर्विस में आई हूँ तब से मुझे यही सुनने में आया है कि यू आर नॉट जस्ट अ जुडिशियल ऑफिसर इनसाइड द सर्विस, यू आर अ जुडिशियल ऑफिसर एवरीवेयर. तो अगर आपका पहले से वो कंडक्ट है तो ये एग्जाम आपके लिए और ज्यादा इजी हो जाता है. तो सबसे पहले exactly which year to start? Okay, I'll be coming to that question. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fine. First of all, starting with the preparation. सबसे पहले your preparation begins from the law itself. जब आप already undergraduate होते हो या अपना course कर रहे हो, when you are pursuing your degree, it starts with that time itself. ठीक है? तो irrespective of कि आपको कौन से year से start करना है, ये subjective रहता है. आपके लिए आप कौन से year से comfortable हो, क्योंकि मैं 5-year law course में थी और फर्स्ट ईयर में मेरे पास शायद से कॉन्ट्रैक्ट्स और टॉट्स था, उसके अलावा मेरे पास कोई मेन सब्जेक्ट्स नहीं थे. सेकंड ईयर में आईपीसी आ गया और थर्ड ईयर में सीआरपीसी आ गया और थर्ड ईयर तक मेरे सारे जितने भी बेसिक जो सब्जेक्ट्स हैं, कोर सब्जेक्ट्स हैं, वो सब आ गए थे, सारे कवर अप हो गए थे. तो आई विल सजेस्ट कि जैसे ही यू आर डन विद योर कोर सब्जेक्ट्स, उसके बाद आप अपनी प्रिपरेशन स्टार्ट करो. प्रिपरेशन स्टार्ट करने के लिए फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल आपको सिलेबस गो थ्रू करना चाहिए. कोई भी स्टेट, जिस भी स्टेट के लिए आप अपेयर कर रहे हो, बीट दिल्ली, बीट उत्तर प्रदेश, बीट राजस्थान, एनी स्टेट यू वांट टू अपेयर फॉर, यू नीड टू गो थ्रू द सिलेबस फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल. जब आप सिलेबस देख लो, उसमें ये देखो, आइडेंटिफाई द कोर सब्जेक्ट्स कि कौन कौन से कोर सब्जेक्ट्स हैं उसमें और कौन कौन से सब्जेक्ट्स पे यू नीड टू फोकस ऑन. क्योंकि फाइन, आई विल बी यूजिंग बोथ द लैंग्वेजेस. First of all, try to identify the core subjects. What are the core subjects according to the syllabus for the state that you want to appear for? For example, in Uttar Pradesh, mostly in every state, the core subjects are common. However, there are some local subjects that you want to prepare for. I am using English, okay? So, those local subjects, they are in the syllabus only at the mains level, not at the prelims. So first of all, you need to prepare, you need to... Am I going too fast? Hello?
No, ma'am.
Okay.
No, ma'am.
identify the core subjects, go through, you should wear and you should write. I'll be taking the questions after a while. Okay. I am not able to focus otherwise. So first of all, you need what you need to do is go through the syllabus for any state that you want to appear for. Syllabus is very important because you have to prepare according to the syllabus only. Go through the syllabus, collect your sources, your data, especially the previous year question papers, be it prelims, be it mains. Collect those sources, go through the syllabus, identify the core subjects, start reading those core subjects as soon as you are done with those core subjects in your curriculum, in your law courses. Secondly, moving on, once you have identified the core subjects, you need to start with the basic, that is the bare acts. Bare acts are the most important source to qualify any judicial services examination. You need to be very, you don't need to mug up those bare acts. Rather, you should read those bare acts again and again so that you are able to you know what that provision means or what that provision is implying, because even a slight comma in that provision will make a difference. So you need to go through with the provisions. Start reading with the bare acts. Start with the IPC bare act, then move on to the CRPC bare act, then move on to the contract or any other bare act that you want to go through. Secondly, reading the bare act just once or twice is not enough. Read as much as you can so that you are you are confident in itself that you will be appearing or you will be attempting the questions related to those provisions. Read first 100 provisions, solve MCQs related to those 100 provisions, move further on to another 100 provisions, solve MCQs to those provisions related to those provisions. And finally, when you are confident enough, then start practicing with the previous year question papers. There are plenty of books available in the market that will help you with the MCQs, and even the previous year question papers are easily available in the market. So you need to start practicing those previous year question papers as well. The most basic confusion that a judicial aspirant faces that they only prepare for the prelims first, and then once they qualify the prelims, then they start their preparation for the mains. This is a very wrong approach. You need to start with your mains preparation along with your prelims preparation. Fine. So prelims and mains preparation go hand in hand. There is no difference as such. Only the difference is that in prelims you have to appear for the MCQ questions, and in mains you'll be appearing, you'll be answering the essay type questions or the descriptive questions. Fine. So start with the bare acts. Follow a particular any landmark book. For example, for contracts, you can follow, I guess, Avtar Singh. Avtar Singh is a very good book for contracts. Start making your own notes so that you don't have to open your book every time you need to revise. You can go through your notes, you can revise your own notes, so that it will save you time as well, because time is money for any judicial exam or any other competitive exams. Time is really money. Fine. So bare acts, any landmark book. No, first of all, use the bare act, go through with the bare act. Once you are done with the bare act, then use the landmark book. You don't have to go through those dukki. वो बस शॉर्टकट्स होते हैं, उनको नहीं करना है. एक बार अच्छा खासा आप अपना एग्जाम आंसर प्रिपेयर करो. प्रिपेयर योर नोट्स फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल फ्रॉम द लैंडमार्क बुक्स. वंस यू आर डन विद दोज लैंडमार्क बुक्स, then you can go through with those dukkis so that you can identify if there is anything that you need to focus on. Because at times what you find is you can find additional sources or additional case laws in those dukkis as well. तो ये एक ही जैन की दुक्की आई गेस मार्केट में काफी अच्छे से अवेलेबल है, वो दुक्की काफी हेल्पफुल रहती है. Moving on to the interview part, I'm just giving a brief as of now. Once you're done with the prelims and mains, then you move on to the interview. Interview is only a test of your personality, what you are as a person. They are not testing you on your knowledge. They are rather testing you on how you answer the questions they are putting towards you. Fine. The way you are answering, the way your facial expressions are, the way you are using your hands, your gestures, the way you are dressed, everything, you'll be marked on everything. So interview is rather a test of your personality rather than a test of your knowledge, because your knowledge has already been tested in the mains. So you don't have to, appear for another knowledge test in the personality test. That is the interview. So there are 3 stages: prelims, mains, interview. Prelims, I have told you. For the prelims part, you need to focus on bare acts. Read your bare acts as much as you can. Secondly, for mains part, take up any landmark book, prepare your own notes, revise those notes again and again, because your notes in your own handwriting, you will be able to remember them very easily as compared to the bookish language. Try to simplify your answers as much as you can. Thirdly, again, coming to the interview part, interview is a test of your personality rather than a test of your knowledge. Okay, first of all, I am getting this question quite a lot, that how do you read bare acts? First of all, I'll suggest take Diglot editions of Bare Act so that it'll help you in translation also. Fine. So I don't have a Bare Act as of now with me, but I'll give you an example. Suppose you are reading section 300, that is murder, IPC. So what you will do is, first of all, you'll read section 299 and section 300 and 300. Fine. You'll make a differencing chart. On the one side, you'll be writing provisions related to section 299, and on the other side you'll be writing provisions related to section 300. You'll identify what the provisions differ in. There are the certain use of words. There's a word likely in section 299. However, the gravity is much more when it comes to section 300, that is murder. So there is a difference between culpable homicide and murder. You simplify those bare acts, you underline those words, you can either circle them, you need to read them. That is why I'm telling you, you have to read those bare acts again and again, because when you are reading it for the first time, you're not able to understand the language of the bare act. थोड़ी सी tricky होती है, नहीं समझ में आती है कभी कभी. So it's better that you go through those bare acts again and again. So once you are reading your bare act for the 4th or the 5th time, your mind is automatically, it'll adapt to what those provisions are saying. You'll easily able to understand the language of those provisions. Okay. Any other question relating to bare acts, how to read bare acts? No. See, when you are reading the bare act, you have to go through the syllabus. You have to go through the previous year question papers as well. See, there are 511 sections in IPC. It is not humanly possible for anybody to remember all those 511 provisions by heart. Fine. So it's better that you go through the previous year question papers, try to find out the trend. What type of questions are being asked? If suppose you take up any UP Judicial Services prelims paper, you identify what type of questions do they ask. It is very rare that they are going to ask questions from that coin or weight and measures chapter. It is very rare. Hardly 1 or 2 questions, if in case they ask, if they happen to ask. Otherwise, they don't put in any questions related to completely irrelevant. Amendments, yes, amendments are very important, because in examinations like Rajasthan focuses on amendments very well. I remember there was this question that by which amendment the definition of queen was amended or was deleted from the bare act of IPC. So you need to do that by yourself for the state that you are appearing in. If it is a state like Rajasthan or Madhya Pradesh, they do focus on amendments. Otherwise, states like Delhi, they do not focus on amendments that much. However, you need to be up to date with the provisions if they are being amended. Amendments के numbers याद नहीं रखने हैं, बट हाँ अगर राजस्थान या एमपी में इफ यू आर अपियरिंग तो वहां पे याद करने पड़ेंगे, क्योंकि वो क्वेश्चंस पूछ लेते हैं वैसे भी. और वहां पर प्रीलिम्स में लेट मी टेल यू दैट इवन अ सिंगल मार्क मैटर. एक एक मार्क से कम 100 लोग बाहर हो जाते हैं प्रीलिम्स में. इट इज वेरी डिफिकल्ट टू गेट थ्रू द प्रीलिम्स एग्जामिनेशन बिकॉज इट इज अ स्क्रीनिंग प्रोसेस बेसिकली. वहां पे बस लक मैटर करता है या फिर आपका प्रेजेंस ऑफ माइंड मैटर करेगा. So previous year question papers देखो, go through those previous year question papers, look for the trend. I'll be coming to the list for the books that you need to refer for. Okay. So barracks, you don't need to study everything. However, for the translation part, you can focus on those provisions as well because legal translations are there. So it will help you. The Diglot editions of the barracks will help you with the legal translations. Any other questions so far? See, the words in sections, if I tell you the states like you, Uttar Pradesh and Uttarakhand, for example, they at times ask you section 11 of IPC contains which definition. They do ask it. So it is only a matter of luck if they are asking these questions. Otherwise, they are not important. However, if you have time, if you think that you will be able to remember the articles and sections, some articles and sections you ought to remember. Because section 300 or section 299 IPC or article 32 of constitution, that is very, very important. So it is expected from a judicial aspirant who has graduated in law to know these articles or sections. So there are, why you didn't join Delhi Judicial Services? That is a personal question. Is there any other question related to barracks? Question from constitutional law. Yes, obviously, constitutional law is a very important subject of a judiciary exam. So questions often come, and it is an important subject from the prelims point of view as well as from the mains point of view. And even if the syllabus is not there, even if constitution is not in the syllabus, you ought to read constitution because it is the source of every other law in the country. That is from where we are deriving our laws. So you need to study constitution. That is very important. Any other question? Eligibility of examination in Delhi. The minimum age is 21 and the maximum age is 32, and you need to be a law graduate or you need to be a practicing advocate. Either of the two will qualify. So these are the minimum eligibilities, and eligibilities you can find in the notification itself. So I'll not rather entertain any question related to eligibility. Importance of coaching. That is also very subjective. Some people, they do not prefer coaching. I am not a coaching, what should I say, product. I preferred self-study. However, coaching helps you with one thing. They give you a proper guidance and direction to appear for in the examination. People are asking me if they are not very consistent with their studies. They are not able to focus on their studies. So if you are taking any coaching, you are able to follow a timetable. So you can easily manage your time. You can easily focus on your studies since you'll have friends there. You'll have doubts. They'll be entertaining n number of doubts. You'll have to, get your doubts clarified, be it legal doubts or any other doubts. So coaching can be an important part, but it is not inevitable or it is not indispensable. How many minimum hours? Again, it is a very subjective question. Some people can read the Bare Act in 5 hours. For others, it might take 10 or 12 hours. So it doesn't matter how many hours you study. What matters is no matter how many hours you are studying, what you are studying, you are being able to grasp upon, and those hours are productive for you. Even if you are sitting idle in front of the books, that is not going to help. Even if you study for 2 or 3 hours daily, it is going to make a lot of difference. Any other question? How to score more in general studies and current affairs. See, for general studies and current affairs, I'll suggest that you need to start reading the newspapers. You need to jot down important headlines, points. You can also follow these monthly current affairs magazines, Drishti, Pratyogita Darpan, Competition Success Review. There are n number of magazines, current affairs magazine. You can follow them. You need to study them again and again. And what else? For general studies, what else can you focus on? Newspapers are the best source. And again, I'll suggest go through current affairs magazines. They help. They helped me a lot. Current affair for UP Judiciary Services preparation, I preferred Pratyogita Darpan. It was, I guess, it was sufficient. I was able to score satisfactory marks in my GS examination, so I guess they are okay. Secondly, there is one more question that is related to one more exam that is related to essay. People don't focus on essay or language paper that much. It is a very important examination. As much as you are giving your time to these subjective laws or procedural laws or local laws, you also need to focus on language and essay paper. For essay, again, you need to be reading the articles. For example, in Hindu, there are editorials, editorials related to current affairs. So you need to focus on those editorials, read them. You don't have to, write your own essays. You can jot down important points. Suppose if there is an issue related to an amendment, so you read that article related to that amendment, you jot down the pros and cons of that amendment so that you are able to, accumulate them in your essay. It will fetch you good marks. And language paper is very scoring. You can easily secure around 70% marks in any language or essay examination if you are fluent. Secondly, start practicing. One more thing I'll suggest is for the mains, what the people face, the basic problem is they are not able to sum up their answers either in the space that is being given in the question come answer booklet, or they are not able to complete their exam in those 3 hours. So what you have to do is, rather than writing paragraphs, you can write your answers in bullet points as well. It will fetch you equal marks. You have to accumulate case laws as well, and you need to write, you can use quotations, some legal proverbs, some legal quotations from a jurist or author. It'll fetch you 1 or 2 extra marks from the other candidates. So, and please follow a particular format for every question that you are appearing. ऐसा नहीं है कि सबसे पहले start with the introduction of what that question is demanding, then come to the content, and then come to the conclusion. उसमें haphazard manner में आप नहीं कर सकते हो कुछ भी appear means. Follow a particular format. Go with that format. Start practicing your answers. Start writing your answers. Try to complete your exam within those 3 hours. If you're not able to complete the examination in those 3 hours, I'm sorry to say, but you're already losing in that race. Because a person who is able to complete the examination in those 3 hours, he'll be able to fetch more marks than you. What else? Any other question related to mains? How to use highlighter in Bare Act? I'll suggest don't use highlighter in Bare Act. Rather use a pencil, because once you are using the highlighter, the whole Bare Act turns green or blue or pink. It is not going to help. वो बस खुद को खुश रखने की चीज है that you are studying. Don't use highlighters on any Bare Act. It will just spoil the Bare Act. Rather use pencil. Or you can either encircle the words. Fine. Do we have any changes in Delhi judiciary? What kind of changes, if you may please enlighten me? How to prepare for the interview? See, there is no separate preparation for the interview. Like I told you, interview is merely a test of your own personality that you are gradually developing from ever since you got into law school and the moment you are appearing for the interview. Personality is not something that you can develop within 10 or 15 days, or you can take 2 or 3 sessions to appear for any interview. I have told you, you need to be a judicial officer here first and then in the paper. So develop your personality, start reading. Reading is very important for any examination. Once you are reading, this thing, broadens. You are able to think out of the box. And once you start thinking out of the box, it will reflect in your answers as well. It will fetch you more marks. It will help you with interview as well, mains as well. Okay, coming to the sources. For prelims, I'll suggest previous year question papers. Previous year question papers are easily available in the compiled form, compiled bookish form in the market for any state, be it Rajasthan, MP, Delhi. Fine. and barracks. For GS and current affairs, again, newspapers and monthly current affairs magazine. Coming to the main books. Okay, so first of all, for constitution, I studied MPGen. Personally, I preferred MPGen because the language was very simple. Every case law was there. All my doubts were cleared through MPGen. So for constitution, I preferred MPGen. For IPC, I preferred, what was the name? Fine. For CRPC, I'll suggest only the Bare Act is sufficient. For IPC, it is. I refer to Krishna Batuklal. Batuklal, is it necessary to clear judiciary if we have taken BBLV? Judiciary is not something that is necessary to clear. Judiciary is something that you want to clear. Yeah, PSA Pillai, sorry. I was forgetting the name. R&D is also good. R&D is a good commentary. So if you are good with the commentaries, you can refer to commentaries. I prefer PSA Pillai for IPC. Thank you. For CRPC, I only refer to Barracks because Barracks for CRPC is purely procedural. For that, only for the case laws part, you can refer any book, R.V. Kelkar. But for otherwise the substantive law part, subjective part, you can prefer the Barracks. Contracts, again, Avtar Singh. Torts also Avtar Singh. And Batuklal for evidence. Or V. Krishnamachari is also there. You can get plenty of case laws in V. Krishnamachari. But Batuklal is good. But Batuklal is more than sufficient. For CPC is C. K. Takwani. More than good enough book. What else? These are the mainly courses. Family law, you can go for Poonam Pradhan. Poonam Pradhan is very good. No, you cannot clear PT without reading the Bare Acts. Bare Acts are very essential to clear any prelims examination. The most of the questions are framed from the Bare Acts itself. How to get my mains answer checked? You can ask any senior. You can ask any of your professors. You can ask any person who has qualified the exam or has appeared for mains examination. Copies of mains, copies of mains answers are also available of the qualified candidates. You can go through where you are lacking. If you have appeared for mains examination once, you are able to identify where you are lacking and where you need to focus more on. See, covering your syllabus for static GK, I'll suggest Lucent. Lucent is good enough. How much time it is going to cover the syllabus? There's no sure short answer to that. It all depends on you, how fast you are able to grasp things, how fast you are able to, what should I say, understand the provisions. So syllabus is completely subjective. So it doesn't matter if I am giving you a time frame. Book for IPC, PSA Pillai. See, I haven't appeared for Bihar Judiciary, so I cannot actually comment for Bihar. But again, it is more or less the same. However, I think Bihar has some different subjects as well. They also ask questions related to general science. So for that, I guess plenty of articles are available now on online also. People who have qualified Bihar Judiciary, they'll help you. They can better help you with it. For TP Act is R.K. Sinha, R.V. Sinha or R.K. Sinha. So Roshni, you can start with your preparation from the 4th year itself. No, you don't need to mention citation in case laws. The name of the case laws is enough. Even if you don't remember both the parties in the case law, you can mention one of the parties. It'll be good. Interpretation of statutes. Can you please? Okay, I'll be again repeating the sources. For constitution, I preferred MP Jain. For contracts, Avtar Singh. For torts also, I guess Avtar Singh is there. Then R.K. Sinha, R.V. Sinha for TPA. For family law, Poonam Pradhan. For IPC, PSA Pillai. For CRPC, R.V. Kelkar. And for CPC, C.K. Takwani. Any other subject that you want to know the reference book for? Are there any mistakes or challenges with you? Yeah. So the first and the foremost challenge that I faced during my preparation for judiciary was that I at times lost my confidence. For evidence, it'll be Batuklal. I lost my confidence, but you should not. For wait, I'll be coming to those questions again. Is doing LLM before judiciary is better? From the financial point of view, otherwise it is not of much help. However, you will be able to answer the questions better if you have done your LLM before judiciary. I lost confidence at times when I was not able to qualify the prelims or mains examination in my first or second attempt. However, I did not, lose my will to get through the judiciary examination. Sorry. So I had this motto: persistence, perseverance, and hard work. These three are the only source. These three are the only thing that are going to get you through those examinations. If you are persistent in your hard work, if you persevere in your hard work, and if you are doing hard work actually, only then you are going to get through those examinations. So persistence, perseverance, and hard work. You don't need to give up even if you are not able to qualify in the first or second or the third attempt. If this is really something that you want, if this is something that you want, if you want to see yourself on the other side of the dais, you can never give up. Kindly excuse me for hi, sorry. I'm sorry, kindly excuse me. I'm really sorry I had to leave. I am in my first year right now, so when should I start my preparation? Ajit, if you want to start with your preparation, you can start with those 4 subjects that are already in your curriculum. I believe contracts must be there, thoughts must be there. If any other core subject is there, you can start reading with those subjects. So you can start with your preparation from the first year as well. There is no formula that you have to start your preparation from the fourth year only. You can start reading those subjects. See, Bhanu, it all depends on you. If you are in one job, you want to get into judiciary, it all depends on how you are able to manage your time. If you are able to manage your time well, it is no difficulty for you to, qualify judiciary even if you are doing another job. As a BA student taking corporate paper as a specialization, whether it was useful. There was no corporate paper. My honors was in criminal law. So I found criminal law honors as very useful for any examination. Is Delhi judiciary more tough? No, I would not say that it is more tough, because Delhi judiciary, the trend is different, because the type of questions that they put you to is they are more or less practical based. They are not theoretical. Otherwise, in every other state, they are more theoretical rather practical. So you need, for Delhi judiciary services, especially, you need to read live law on a daily basis. Plan your time accordingly. Devote at least half an hour or 1 hour daily for live law, because only live law can keep you updated with any amendments, any recent amendments, any recent landmark case law, if on the Honorable Supreme Court has passed their decision on. So live law is must. You need to read live law on a daily basis for at least half an hour. Delhi judiciary is only in English language. So unfortunately, Hindi language students cannot apply for Delhi judiciary. Yes, you can also proceed for judiciary after taking business law. It doesn't matter after how many years, it all depends on how well your preparation is and how well you are with the core subjects that are in the syllabus of that state judiciary. See, Rupanji, this is a problem that many of us aspirants face. But like I said, you need to see yourself on the other side of the dais. You need to imagine sitting yourself sitting on the other side of the dais. If you are able to see that, if this is something that you really want, if you want to qualify the judicial services examination, this will only be for a temporary or for a momentary period. You'll again go back to your studies. You'll again get through with the exam. You'll again, get back with your preparation. Chhattisgarh, both Hindi and English. It is UK exam language is also English. No, no, no. Hindi background students can appear for Uttarakhand, UP, MP, Rajasthan, Chhattisgarh. I guess only in Delhi and Haryana, English language is must. No, it is not at all necessary to enroll as advocate. It only demands that you should be eligible for, to be enrolled as an advocate. Future prospects of judiciary, I mean the promotions. I believe this seminar was related to getting through the judiciary. Promotions is a very secondary part. Once you get into the service, you'll get to know it on your own. Any other question? Any other area that I need to? Anyone can appear in any state judicial exam. Yes, anyone can appear, provided that they are fulfilling the basic or essential eligibility criteria. That is the age and the language. Only those two are the eligibility criteria. How many questions are related to Muslim law? See, in UP, Muslim law, they ask one compulsory question from the Muslim law. Otherwise, it is your choice if you want to, attempt the Muslim law questions, or you can attempt other subject questions as well. In Uttarakhand, Muslim law, because there is no choice as such. So Muslim law, you have to appear for in Muslim law. Delhi may, I don't believe they ask Muslim law. I don't think. Is extracurricular activities. Yes, it is important. You need to keep your mind fresh. अब पूरे दिन पढ़ते रहोगे तो कैसे होगा, एकदम भट्टी बन जाएगा ये. तो थोड़ा सा एक्स्ट्रा करिकुलर एक्टिविटीज आई सजेस्ट कि हाँ होनी चाहिए. कोई स्पोर्ट यूज ज्वाइन कर सकते हो. मैम, इन विच मंथ द एग्जाम रजिस्ट्रेशन स्टार्ट? आई हैव नो आइडिया बेटा. As soon as the notifications are rolled out, I guess after 1 or 2 months, the registration process starts. I guess at this very moment, there is no notification. I told you, Vivek, that first of all, you need to start with the bare axe. Once you are done with the bare axe, you can go through, you can move on to the landmark books. Best way to attempt your answers. I'll suggest pointers because paragraphs takes a lot of time and space in states like Rajasthan or Uttarakhand and Uttar Pradesh. There is concise space in which you have to, briefly write your answer. So you cannot write unlimited words. Even there is word limit in which you have to attempt your answer. Which query? While preparing, if something goes south, what are the preferable plan B for competitive exams? I never had a plan B. I'm really sorry. I cannot answer that query. I never had a plan B. I wanted to get into judiciary, and that was the only thing I was focusing on. Business law course. Nitesh, I told you that it all depends on you, how well you are able to, read the core subjects. So it doesn't depend on if you are taking the business law course. You can prepare for judiciary as soon as you are done with your course. How to avail previous year papers? Prachi, they are easily available online. If you are not able to access them online, you can also purchase a good book from Amazon, or you can go to a bookstore and purchase your previous year question papers. How to read newspapers? The way you are reading your bare axe, try to read the headlines. If you think those headlines are important from the legal point of view, you don't need to study everything again in the newspapers as well. If you think those headlines are important related to from the legal point of view, you need to study the whole article. You can read the whole article and you can even note down if you want to. Can we answer in Hindi in DJ's interview? No. Since the prelims and mains are in English, so it is preferable that you answer your questions in English in the interview as well. What is process to become a PP and what is the age limit? You will find that in the notification itself. What should we develop in our personality that a judicial officer should have in their personality? Start listening, I'll suggest. Start listening to what the other person is saying. How to prepare for judgment writing? There is a book, Robin Jeet Singh, available in the market. It will help you with the judgment writing preparation. You need to write at least 10 to 15 judgments before appearing for any judgment writing question paper. At least 15 judgments are must. How many years did I take to crack this exam, ma'am? For Delhi, it took me 3 years. It was my first attempt in Delhi. I appeared for Delhi after 3 years after graduating. So I'll say 3 years. And I had my share of failures. Don't think that it was my first attempt and I was able to get through. I failed, I guess, 3 or 4 prelims. I failed 2 mains, 1 mains. But I failed. I had my share of failures. So you don't need to be afraid of failures. You need to accept them. You need to move on from those failures, but you need to identify where you are lacking and why did you fail. You need to identify those reasons. So you should be afraid of those failures. Can we crack it in first attempt, ma'am? Yes, you can definitely crack it in first attempt. How can I? How can, as an aspirant student, overcome their hesitation? Try to speak to people, random people. Random people, I mean, talk to your batchmates, talk to your classmates, I'll suggest. Can you suggest some coaching? I have no idea about coaching, Navneet, so I cannot suggest you. How did you, so when you feel demotivated? I had this one thought, I had this one image in my mind that I wanted to see myself on the other side of the dais. Whenever I used to feel demotivated, I could only imagine myself sitting there wearing that robe. It was my only motivation. One thing I used to do, another thing that I used to do was, it is funny rather. I used to write my name with that post that I'll be having this post someday. So that was my motivation. Whenever I used to feel demotivated, I used to look on that piece of paper and see that this is the dream I want to, I want this to become true. That was my motivation. Can you repeat? Yeah, Robin Jeet Singh book for judgment writing is Robin Jeet Singh. Nitesh, you can start with your preparation as soon as you want to. You can read those subjects that are in your curriculum in that particular year, irrespective of whether you are in second year or third year or fourth year. Is coaching important? It is again very subjective. However, if you feel that you have plenty of doubts, there are certain doubts that need to be clarified from a good mentor, then you can definitely go for coaching. Coaching is something that is not indispensable, but yes, it is beneficial, no doubt. I guess I have covered most of the questions. Any other questions so far? Or this question can come to an end? This session can come to an end, sorry. Any other question? Sir, I think every question has been answered too. How to write bare provision mains answer. See, don't I would say don't write the exact bare provision in the bare acts. You should write rather the content or what that provision is implying. You should only write the meaning. पूरा word to word ऐसे copy paste नहीं करना चाहिए. It will only give a bad impression to the person who is checking the answer. How to prepare? No, I told you. go through the previous year question papers, solve those questions, and try to follow a similar pattern for every answer. Start with the introduction, then with the main body, and end your answer with a conclusion. Conclusion is very important. If you leave the answer in the middle, it will not give a good impression on the person who is checking the answer sheet. In Delhi and in Haryana, you are provided with the barracks, but in any other examination, in any other state examination, you are not provided with the barracks. Dukki are small guides. They come in handy when you are revising your answers. I have no idea about the business law course, so I cannot answer that question, Nitesh. You cannot make notes for prelims. You can only, read barracks. For mains, yes, you have to prepare notes for every subject individually. For prelims, I don't think that making notes is important. You can underline provisions in the barrack itself. If you want to connect one provision with the other, you can mention it in the barrack itself next to that provision. I have no idea about the Jammu and Kashmir Judicial Services, Rupanshi. I'm sorry. Any other questions so far? Harsha, I think all the questions have been answered too. You can.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much. And thank you to all the participants for joining for this session. And thank you so much, ma'am, for sparing your valuable time and sharing your wise words with the participants. I'd like to hand over to Dr. Nitish Upadhyay, sir.
It was nice seeing Radha delivering this session. So I taught her when she was in her 4th year, public international law. It's always a pride moment and a very nice feeling when you see your students grow and then delivering almost the same kind of thing what we are doing to them. So pleasure to hear you. Pleasure how you dealt with all the questions. Thanks a lot. And thanks a lot for accepting our request to mentor these judiciary aspirants so that they can do something good in life. Thank you, Radha. I cannot have words to thank you now for your efforts. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
Thank you so much, everyone.
And everyone, you can join tomorrow's session. We have another speaker coming up. She's from MP Judiciary. So if you have any question left, you want to ask something more, you can join us in the tomorrow's webinar. Thank you very much, everyone. Harsha, you can stop the recording.